IQ is to question, ask questions. Don't just say, well, I don't understand, and let it go like that. Ask question. Daniel chapter 7 verse 16 says, I came near unto one of them that stood by. Daniel was a great man, but there is always somebody that knows more than that great man. Daniel was a favored man. There's always somebody that knows more than that favored man. Whoever you are, whatever your talent, whatever your score, whatever your grade, whatever the class you came out from with, there is always somebody in life that knows more than you know, that can answer that question. And I came near unto one of them that stood by and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me and made me know the interpretation of things. R is to reason, is to reason. You know, some people throw away their thinking cap. They don't reason at all. They don't think at all. Somebody said something, they just say, I don't agree. Why don't you agree? Why don't you think? It is when we think, we use our brain. It is when we think, we develop that brain. It tells us in Hebrews chapter 5 verse 14, but strong meat belongeth to them that are full age, even to those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern between good and evil. And then S is to search. There was a man many years ago. He was a bad man, a terrible man, and because of his crimes he was put in prison. And when he got into prison, it was still like that, mind bad, heart bad, everything bad. But then he was going across, and there was a service going on in the chapel, and the preacher in the chapel said something that fascinated him. He had never read the Bible from that time, and that thing that fascinated him, he said, I want to know in the Bible where that thing is. And he didn't know to use the concordance. He didn't know to use anything. He didn't even ask the man that made the quotation, what's his way of knowing that thing that the preacher said that fascinated him? He said, I will search for it in the Bible myself. And he started from Genesis, he read Exodus, and went on reading until he will discover that verse. And that verse is in Hebrews, and Hebrews is near the end of the Bible. Before he got to that verse and knew that verse, he discovered Jesus. He was born again. His life was transformed because he was searching. Search in your life. A new idea, search. A new inspiration, search. A new word that comes to your heart, search. Something that other people say it's impossible in that field, in mathematics, in chemistry, they've never been able to solve that equation. Search. And as that thing draws in your mind and you follow through and you're searching and searching, you'll discover what others have not discovered. In John chapter 5 verse 39, search the scriptures, for in them ye think ye have eternal life, and they are they that testify of me. T is to think. To think. And remember, the natural thought is far below the thoughts of God, because it says, my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither your way my ways. As the heaven is higher than the earth, so are my thoughts higher than your thoughts. Build up your thinking faculty. Encourage yourself and use your brain and think, and use your mind and think, and use your spirit and think. And then in Philippians chapter 4 verse 8 it says, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think. Don't just read, think. Don't just analyze, think on these things. And then